Welcome to another week here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. We're glad to have you with us. A.A. Moore and the esteemed coach of the Miles Golden Bears, Reginald Ruffin. And Coach, you got a trip down to Florida, a lot of weather, a lot of everything, points, penalties, you name it. It was just a very interesting trip down to Florida.
Well, the weather, I thought when you go to Florida it's always hot and sunny, but unfortunately it wasn't. But we actually had a good day the next day, but Friday we kind of came into that bad weather, but Saturday, we was just getting ready to play.
Edward Waters was on the schedule, and it was a non-counter for SIAC play, but it was a chance for your team to try to get things together as you got ready to prepare for the gauntlet that's going to come in later weeks.
Yes, it was tough. That water team, Coach Greg Ruffin, cousin of mine, and I know he have those guys ready to play, but we just had to get ready to play a good football team that like I said, their record did not show how good they actually were, but we just had to get ready to play a good football team. Our kids had to be focused and mentally ready to play.
Coach Reginald Ruffin versus cousin Coach Greg Ruffin with Edward Waters. When we come back, we're going to get into the first half highlights. You're watching In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrews Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here on In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. And Coach, before we get to the highlights, we had a couple of changes that were happening with the quarterback position, getting ready to go into this ball game, and you've kind of vacillated between both Lejean Cordier and Daniel Smith. Talk about what you were thinking as you got ready to start this ball game. Well,
Daniel had a great week of preparation, and we felt like we needed to go with Daniel. He did an awesome job this week, moving the offense during practice, and Lejean, like I said, those guys work together, and they understand that hey, the best guy is going to get the job, get handed the job, and Daniel, unfortunately, was the guy that we gave the job to.
And then coming into the game, you had to replace Anthony Robinson. He's out with an injury. Talk about the replacement that you made and how that was supposed to help the offense.
Well, anytime, we lose Lee Anthony, he's our return guy, and we lose that part of the game. But, it's the next guy step up. Those receivers all, Cohen Hudson and those guys all had to step up and do their job. And Dominique McNeely has been great all year. So, we just got receivers by committee, we call them, and guys got to step up and take the guy's spot, when he's injured or need to be replaced.
Ruffin versus Ruffin. They called it the Ruffin Bowl. We call it Miles versus Edward Waters. First half highlights right now. There was weather that was all around Jacksonville, but at the start of the game, it looked very nice. And as you can see, the sun is out, and Miles is on the early march. Justin Ruiz, glad to have him back here for 8 yards.
Yeah, we definitely missed him in the Benedict game, but, great job out of offensive line opening up.
Here, we talked about him just a couple of moments ago. Cohen Hudson in for Anthony Robinson. He makes the catch, 13 yards.
Next guy up, man. Great protection and great throw and great catch by Cohen.
And again, Cohen Hudson here on the RPO. He goes out to Hudson, and he picks up 16 yards and gets Miles inside the 10.
Just his opportunity. He's making the best of it.
And then right back here to Justin Ruiz. He's going to get the ball, powers in from 3 yards out, and Miles is on the board.
Great job, offensive line, always opening up a hole, and just having Justin back,
Well, on defense, look at this acrobatic play. Nick Floyd has been on fire the last couple of weeks. Here he jumps up and gets the interception.
Great job. Great job by our defensive line with pressure, and then just Nick being in the spot.
Miles is going to start the drive at the 20. Second play of the ensuing drive is Daniel Smith. He keeps it, looks, finds Leonard Tyree. Great over-the-shoulder catch, and Miles is back in the end zone.
Like I said, great protection. He had all day to throw it, but just Daniel's just being Daniel.
Defense gets off the field, offense back to work. This time Daniel Smith decides to keep it, and he picks up 14.
Great job collapsing the pocket, but he just continuing to extend the play. Great job by Daniel.
3rd and 22, the Golden Bears still moving the ball forward here. Great catch by Dominique McNeely for 17 yards.
Great protection and just great Dominique coming across the middle and just getting them yardage we needed.
Here we go. It's 4th down, and you're going to hear this name later. Big Matthew Wilkinson, 6'8". He's able to bat the ball into the air, and Miles unable to convert.
Yes, he's one of the tops in the nation at batted balls, and just got to cut them legs down and be in position.
The defense was playing strong early. Nick Floyd on the blitz forces quarterback Rashad Branch to just throw that football in the air.
Great job by Nick, just pressure, B-gap blitzer, and doing a good job.
We're already in the second quarter. It's free play time for Daniel Smith. He finds Grant Dubose for 19 yards.
Yeah, the true freshman Grant, he had to step up. Like I said, with Lee Anthony being injured, Grant stepped up also.
Back to the run game, and here it's Dante Edwards. He goes on a strong run and takes a couple of guys for a ride for 11 yards.
Well, Dante, he's been that power back that we've been looking for all year. He's done a great job.
Here it's play action. Look at the line giving Smith all kinds of time. He finds McNeely for 38 yards.
Great job, offensive line. What can I say? Those guys really work hard, work together.
Then, after a pass interference and penalty gives a fresh set of downs, it's going to be Edwards again running over guys for 3 yards and a touchdown.
Well, he's 215 pounds. He's a load. So
it's already 21-0. Here, the quarterback Branch tries to get that extra yard for a first down, but Ozzie Williams knocks it loose. Austin Stevens falls on it. Miles back on the offensive, and it's going to be LeJean Cordier finding Grant Dubose.
Great job, great protection, and just great throw. John steps in and does his job.
Here it's a tough snap. The ball had gotten wet. It started to rain. Cordier, though, is able to protect the football, and Miles keeps it, even though they would end up having a punt.
Yeah, we can't drop that ball. John, he's got to catch it.
They change quarterbacks on the other side. Braden Minor overthrows his receiver, probably the easiest interception Maxwell Wells is going to have all season.
Yeah, great job. Guys in that, in position to make that play and kind of make it tough for that quarterback.
The return was 21 yards, and it sets Miles up again on offense. This time, it's going to be Justin Ruiz. Good, strong run. He gets into the end zone from 14 yards, but it's called back because of a holding penalty.
Yeah, you got to do it again. We tell our guys, hey, you block, and, it's going to get called, so just come back and do it again.
Here's a pass out of the backfield. DeAndre Harvey, we haven't seen him drop a ball yet, Coach. He picks up only 8 yards, but it was a good play. Gets a nice, in fact, that's 14 yards inside to the 6. And then Ruiz, he had the first touchdown taken away. First, it's a stiff arm. Then he powers his way into the end zone. Second touchdown run of the game. It's 28-0.
Great effort by Justin, but an awesome job by the offensive line.
One last defensive play. Cameron Sneed came up just short on 2 sacks last week, but this time he finishes the job right before the half, and Miles is going to go into the half with a 28-0 lead.
Yeah, we were fired up about that. Just anytime you go up 28-0 and have that halftime lead, go in and talk about it and come back out 0-0 second half.
So, Coach, 28-0, it probably a little wider than maybe even you thought it was going to be. When you have those kind of leads at halftime, is it tough to keep the guys focused, or how do you handle that going into the half?
Well, I treat it all as if it was tie ball game 0-0, but our kids got to understand that we got to come out and establish always that first 5 minutes, and it's 0-0. Anything can happen. It's 4 quarters of football, and as kids, our guys got to understand they got to come out ready to play because they going in and make the adjustment. We got to go in and make our adjustment to make sure we continue scoring points and continue stopping them.
Talk about the offense. The week before, you had some trouble moving the football. It took a late touchdown to beat Benedict, but in this game against Edward Waters, offense seemed like it was in sync, especially with Daniel Smith. But even when Cordier came in, the offense was able to move the football.
Well, Justin came back, after being sick before leaving last week. We knew we needed Justin. He's done a great job in not, losing Freeman, and also Wade got banged up this game. So we needed Justin to come in and kind of pick up the pieces, which he did. And he's give us a different role when he comes in. He's a little bit different with speed and power, and also Dante comes in with power and a little speed. And so, and Daniel just making his right read, just doing the things that it takes for us to be successful on offense. And once Daniel is clicking on all cylinders, the sky's the limit for our offense. And
talk a little bit about the defense. 3 turnovers there in the first half. When you can get the plus minus on your side, it generally means good things.
Well, you got to turn the ball. You got to get turnovers. That's what we tell our defense. We got to create turnovers. But we got to get the ball back to our offense. I think our offense are very explosive when they get the ball, and we want to make sure every time we get a turnover, we give it back to our offense. While our offense is just scoring points and just getting the game, putting the game out of reach. That's what we like.
Well, it's 28-0 at halftime, and when we come back, we're going to look at one of our student athletes, Aaron Scroggins, who has done an outstanding job here with the Golden Bears over the last 3 years. It's halftime here on In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. We'll be back.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrews Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here on In the Huddle, it's halftime, and Miles leads Edward Waters 28-0, and we'll get to the second half highlights in a moment. But first, I want to do a profile on our starting offensive lineman, Aaron Scroggins, who has been the man since he arrived here 3 years ago.
I came to Miles because it was close to home. And I just wanted to play football, and this was the first and best opportunity for me to play ball.
When I first watched his film and I saw how he was working that summer before he came, I expected him to start, to be honest with you. I expected him to start as a true freshman. And he did exactly what I expected him to do. He came in, started the first game in center, and then he really sat a guy down, the all-covers guy down. Then once the all-covers guy got right, he moved the guard, and we didn't miss a beat. I think we rushed through that season. We were over 200 yards on the ground that year.
Well, I came into that season with the mindset that I was going to play, no doubt in my mind. So I worked all camp and got to the game, and my eyes were huge because I never played around that many people. You know, I come from a small academy school, so that was a good experience for me.
He's played everything. He's played center. He's played guard. He's played tackle. It gives you another tool in your toolbox, a Swiss Army knife, where if a guy goes down, you know you can put one of your best linemen in that spot, and even if he might be outmatched, you know he's gonna fight for you, and you know that in the end he'll win the war.
It's not too. It's just an understanding. If you understand the offense, you can pretty much do anything. I can get back there and run running back if I needed to. You know, it's just about knowing where the ball is going to be, knowing where it's going, and you can do anything you need to do. You know, my dad always told me coming up, you know, the unsung hero. You know, we control the game, we control the clock, and we don't get praised for it, which I'm okay with. It never really bothered me. I just play. You know, and never worried about praise too much. I feel tackle's definitely more difficult. You're out there on an island. You're by yourself. Per se, you don't get as much help as say a guard or center would. So, and you tend to face more athletic D linemen. If we can get, they say over 200, but I'm not happy unless we hitting 250 rushing yards. You know, no sack, you know, little to no sacks. So, and that's, honestly, I'm disappointed if we don't score in every drive. I get upset for real.
I don't think he is in the question that he shouldn't be mentioned as All-American, All-Conference, and that's just, you know, and I'm saying because everything I've asked him to do, he's done at a high level. You know, I don't think we run the ball as well as we had this year. Without him, I don't think we managed as well in pass pro and making checks on the line. Without him, he's probably one of the most. He's a guy that when I look out there, I need to see him out there. So and he's just been a guy ever since he got here. He's just like my coach called a junkyard dog. He's gonna get out there and do whatever you ask him to do. If he has to guard, to guard the offense, he's gonna guard it. He's gonna guard the quarterback. He's gonna guard him with his life.
I just play every snap to the best of my ability. I'd like to see all conference, and maybe one day, if I work hard enough, get in that All-American status. But whatever happens, happens.
Coach Aaron Scroggins, you put him in from his first game. He has been starting for this team on the offensive line. Just talk about what he has brought to this program.
Oh man, the Bessemer native, Aaron has done a great job, awesome job as a leader, great in the classroom, great on the field, just an awesome teammate, come from a great family. Works hard, comes to work every day, give his all when he comes out there, and just a leader. He's never going to embarrass. He's never going to do anything to disrupt the program. Just going to be a positive individual, and he just works hard, extremely hard.
Well, we are more than happy to have Aaron Scroggins on our side, and we'll be able to see him and the rest of the offensive line try to help build on this 28-0 lead. When we come back, we'll have the second half highlights here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrews Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. Coach, 28-0. You're getting ready to start the second half. How did the weather play a factor in what you all were going to have to do in the second half?
Well, we understood that when it started to come down a little bit. We told the guys that it's possible it could rain second half, but always talk about security, ball security. Always talk about the correct snaps and holding on to the ball as running backs, receiver once the ball is thrown, or catch, just protecting the football. And defense just trying to get the ball out, creating turnovers because you never know how the weather was going to play a factor. And our kids just understood that. We knew it was going in a bad situation as far as the weather was concerned, but we just didn't know when and where and how it was going to happen.
Well, it was certainly an interesting second half. Even though Miles was up 28-0, there was a lot going on, and you're not going to want to miss as we get into the second half highlights. So Miles is going to start the second half on defense, and it's already a tough second half as Edward Waters has already moved it onto Miles' side of the field, and there's a completion to Derek Davis.
Yeah, we got to come out of the second half and establish the first 5 minutes, but they did a good job of making an adjustment and attacking us.
Their freshman running back, Deshaun Hugie, he picks up 10 yards there. He didn't start the game, but he certainly was effective in the second half.
We were very afraid of him. He had a lot of good runs over the course of a few films we saw. And, just a great running back.
That time he couldn't beat Nick Floyd to the corner, but after a roughing the passer penalty is called, first Floyd gets the stop here on Hugie, but you see the flag come in.
Yeah, just to the face for our D lineman, to their offensive lineman, and we got to be smart on that play.
Well, a fresh set of downs, and Branch tries to find Wilkerson again. It's incomplete, but here come more flags.
Yeah, just pass interference, which I kind of question, but, like I always say, they call it. We got to continue playing.
Here, Tristan Gunter, he ends up finishing a big drive with a 2-yard run. That drive took more than 8 minutes. You see 2 more penalty flags come in, and Miles is going to end up starting the next drive deep in its own zone. Ruiz is trying to turn the corner, but on that wet track, he loses the football, and Edward Waters has the ball.
We talk about protection. We talked about it coming in out the half, so he's got to protect that football.
It's 1st and goal at the 8. Pass interference penalty sets up 1st and goal at the 3, and it's another touchdown pass. Now it's 28-14.
Yeah, as I just said, establish the first 5 minutes, and we got to come out ready to play. And fortunately, we wasn't out ready to play.
Here's another play. Low punt here. Trying to beat the win is Jay Fitch, and they get a good return. But Jay Fitch says, hey, I can get the ball too. He punches it out. It's a loose football. Miles looks like it has it, but another penalty gives the ball back to Edward Waters.
Yeah, they call blocking in the back, and I just didn't understand how we can block in the back, and we're the team that's trying to tackle the returning team.
Well, it puts Edward Waters back on offense, and Branch Finds Wilkerson here. He's a big guy, 6'8", uses that leverage, and then carries a couple of guys, picks up 19 yards and puts it inside the 5.
Yeah, he's played both ways on offense and defense, and he's a prototypical football player.
Last play of the third quarter, though, Nick Floyd says none of that as he gets the sack.
Great job, Nick. You know, Nick's has an awesome career, awesome season.
All of the momentum was going to Edward Waters, but on the first play of the fourth quarter, a bad snap, Austin Stevens gets his second fumble recovery of the game, sends the offense back onto the field, and here, Leonard Tyree, short catch, but boy, he can get up that sideline.
Great job, great protection, and just great job by Daniel getting it to Tyree.
15 yards on that completion. Then it's Edwards again. He runs for 16.
Great job, you know, protection. The whole line is doing an awesome job. Great job by Dante.
Watch this run here by Dante Edwards. He picks up 22 yards, but he runs over another guy to get those yards.
Yeah, just a big load. You know, he's running low center of gravity when he runs square. Behind his pass, does a great job.
Daniel Smith is looking to get back in the touchdown mode in the air. Well, first we got Dante Edwards here on the touchdown run. I missed that one right there, but a penalty flag brings it back. Another one, and we'll get to those penalty numbers in a moment. But when that was taken up, he tries to go to Cohen Hudson in the backcourt of the end zone. Great catch, but he was out of bounds.
Yeah, just ran out of real estate, but just great job, just protection and just throwing the football.
Well, Miles, another penalty, this time against Edward Waters, sets Miles up in good position, and Daniel Smith keeps it, sacrifices his body, leaps over the defenders into the end zone.
Great job by the offensive line. Great job by our tight ends blocking downfield also.
There's a fumble on the ensuing kickoff here by Edward Waters, and Miles is going to get the ball again in good field position. It was picked up by Antonio Evans.
Well, great job on our special team. You know, you just got to come up big, you know, offense, defense, and special team.
Miles will go back on offense here, and now it's Daniel Smith finding Padarius Martin out of the backfield, and he gets back into the action, 11 yards.
Yeah, great job, you know, just protection and just Padarius being where he's supposed to be.
There are literally 3 more penalties between the next 2 plays, and it's going to set Miles up at the 21. Smith is going to find Dominique McNeely. Look at this catch, wide open, and he's in the end zone.
Great job, great protection, great throw, and great catch by Dominique.
It's now 42-14, just under 9 minutes to go. There was an onside kick that was wiped out on a penalty, but Joshua McNeil says, that's okay, I'm going to get this sack, even though it was a little bit of a touch sack, Coach.
Yeah, you know, the guy went down easy, but Josh said he'll take it.
Here's the first bus. You got some of your backups in. The game seems to be in hand, and Hugie gets loose. 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, I told you we was afraid of him. He's real fast, real good football player. You know, we got to make sure we're in the right spot doing our job.
But Miles decides, hey, one thing you can do, we can certainly do it just as well. Edwards gets the ball here, and he's loose. 36 yards. He finishes with 115 yards on just 12 carries.
Yeah, great job. O-line just opening up, just great job.
Then Ruiz, he gets another carry. He picks up 15 yards on this run. He has 83 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Just glad to have him back, you know, especially not being able to go last week.
And Cordier says, hey, you all can do all of that running. Let me get the last of it. He gets the final 13 yards, and Miles goes up 49-21. There's a late touchdown for Edward Waters, but the final score is going to be Miles 49, Edward Waters 28. Talk a little bit about your conversation with your cousin after the ball game. I'm sure that you know, when you're playing these kind of games, family things aside, you know, you still want to see what's good for the other coach.
Yes, often imitated but never duplicated. That's what I told him. But Coach Ruffin, he has a young team, and I think our kids understood that it wasn't about me, it wasn't about him. We was playing a football game, Miles versus Edward Waters, and everybody tried to build it up. The Ruffin Bowl won, but you know, we had a football game to play. I think he was preparing his team the same as we were preparing now. But I think our kids understood that it's about the game at hand and taking care of our business and doing our job.
Well, Miles is now 6-1 this program doesn't get to 6 wins very often. It's happened 11 times. Most of them have happened since you have been coach. Talk a bit about what this means for this program to be able to continually do as well as it has over the last 7, 8, 9 years.
Well, for me, it's just being blessed, being an opportunity to be the head coach here, and just having great assistants and having great student athletes who, number one, want to get a good quality education and want to come here and better this program by winning championships, going to the NCAA playoffs, and having an opportunity to play for a national championship. So, you know, that was all our goals and what we established here when I got hired. And I think our kids understand the magnitude of that and working hard. We're going to take it one game at a time. We're not looking beyond that. You know, we just try to just be patient and do the right things that it takes for us to be successful.
Well, that next game is going to be against Central State. You got a trip to Ohio. Again, it starts the gauntlet. 3 Western Division teams. You got to win them all to get to the championship.
Well, you got to take them all one game at a time. But we're playing a good Central State football team. Their record is not going to show how good they really are. They have the running back scaffold that leads the nation in total yardage. You know, I think he's a running back, receiver, quarterback, and his total yardage output is unbelievable. I think about 150, almost 200 yards, you know, a game when it comes to total yardage. But, you know, we got our work cut out for them. You know, I think Coach Pearl's done a great job. Their record not going to show how really good they are offensively or defensively, and we just got to come ready to play.
Well, it's going to be Miles taking on Central State, and you can certainly find us right here on WOTM. And Coach, as you get ready to take this trip, are you looking at anything that has happened that might cause some issues for your team going up to Ohio?
Yeah, we lost our kicker Jackson. You know, hopefully we can get him back if we fortunately get to the championship game. But that's a big hurt in our offense and big hurt in point production. So I want to wish him well and just his recovery, speedy recovery.
So it'll be Brady Hamill. He's up next. And like you said, it's the next man up every time. The next team up, Central State, will be on the air next week. Monday night, you can watch the replay. If you want to go to the game, it's at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Central in Wilberforce on the campus of Central State, and we hope to have you there. Keep up with everything else that's going on in Miles Athletics at www.milesgoldenbears.com, and you can also catch us on social media at Golden Bears of MC. Again, thanks for joining us here on In the Huddle. It's Coach Ruffin, A.A. Moore. We'll see you next week.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrews Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.